All right, this is a paint booth that I designed. That's from a model we made about 8 years ago. Some information on the layout design. Um, Went together pretty quick. Made this out of half-inch foam, and then I used some blue foam on the top. The screws I used were fine thread, and here I was using screws in one direction to mark where the other direction from the backside. So when you put your ribs in there, they go for fast assembly, and then I pull the marking screws out. There it is in its raw form sitting on the table on the backside. And I did change, left the ends on there this time just because they keep it structurally rigid. The piping is held together with just one screw. I don't glue these joints, and it goes together really fast. The foam needs to have the plastic taken off of it and painted, of course. Picked up these turntables at Walmart for about $7 each. The bearings, I couldn't hardly even buy them for that, so that worked out good. There it is with a pipe, and that generally will just slip right off the back and the elbows, and it goes back together, just pops back on there. Never really have any problem with it coming apart. There it is with a couple coats of just some white acrylic latex paint, and looking down into the center there without any filters on it. This is a genair range top fan, and it's got some paint down in it, so you want to use the right fans for it. Purchased some Harbor Freight lights, and now we're going to get into a video of me talking about the thing. All right, this is a four-position paint booth, and I've got this set up where you put some little lights on it. Uh, I went to Harbor Freight and picked these up here today. It offers just enough light, and you can turn the thing on easy enough, and the things will run for quite a while. Got the little lazy susans I got from Walmart, and so you can turn the thing in there and turn it around. Filters are like two for $4 at Lowe's. They're 12 by 12, and they just fit back in here like this. And then in the back is it goes to a pipe in the back, and I just tabbed the filter so that it just kind of goes back in there and it sits there. I've never had any trouble with them coming, being a problem. And they fit in there tight enough where it catches almost all of the paint. Just thin enough. The main thing is that it catches the bulk on the screen, and then it pipes it outside. So this is coming around to the back. There's the genair fan, and it goes up here to the manifold, which is the four posts in the back. The two center stations have a little bit higher suction rate than the ones on the ends, but it still collects all the fumes and takes it outside. Pumps this outside. I'm going to make a baffle right here. This will fit to the back door, and with a piece of foam, just where I push the two doors open, and then this will give me the ability to make this portable. And this is portable. This whole thing here, you know, with everything on it, it's not very heavy. The pipe adds more weight than the box is, so that's really it, and it's pretty strong. So it's going to make for a dandy little station for painting. We work on quite a few little projects in our Royal Rangers at church. It's a church scouting organization. We build pine derby cars and little woodworking projects and things. So this makes an easy way to take it to church. Throw it on a table like this table here, and you're hooked up and you got a paint booth ready to go. Put a tarp down and paper over the table, and it works real well. I had the same setup about 8 years ago at another church, and I lost track of the paint box, and I was able to get the fan back. It was given back to me, so that was nice, and put it back to use, and we'll put this little gizmo to good use, crafting all kinds of cool stuff. Right now the boys are making canteens, and I've made some lantern kits, and just enjoying the retirement. This box took me 5 hours to get it constructed, and then probably another 2.5 to 3 hours of just painting it. There's lots of angles and stuff, and I put 2 coats of paint on it. So the thing about the blue foam, whenever you get it and you're gluing it up, it has a plastic film. You need to pull the film off so that you'll get a good glue joint. The Gorilla Glue, if you're not careful, will fill your cavities. It's activated with water, and so you have to make sure that you don't put too much in there and get it to where it's oozing out. And if it starts oozing out, you want to wipe that out of there, because you won't be able to get your rib in there, because that stuff dries good and hard. But other than that, then I use sheetrock screws, fine thread, to put them in, and they hold them temporarily, and then I pull the screws out, and just all foam now. And if you use fine thread, you can get them out. With the coarse threads, you can get out too, but sometimes they get stuck, and you just dedicate them to the project. Where generally the fine threads, you can get them out pretty easy without any fuss. And I'll be using this board here to make the baffle. And what I'm going to do is just kind of build like a little box that's big enough to where I can put the two doors together, and it'll fit in between the two doors. I'll say this is the door and this is the door, and then the baffle will fit in between the two edges of the door, and then my output will go out through here, and this will stand up the height of the door, and then I'll have to put a little cap on the top to try and keep the heat in the building. A lot of times we're doing this in the winter months, and well, most of the time in the winter months, but that will work for that. And you're asking why I have this, because this top part is 30 inches and the bottom part's 24, and it was 8 years ago when I put it together, and I had assumed that both were the same, and I looked at my drawings, and sure enough, I had this one sheet that was longer, so I'd made that up, and then I started putting it together, and I thought, wait a second, this isn't fitting. So anyway, it's kind of funny, because when I was cutting these, I was going, okay, this measurement right here is 30 inches, and naturally that would make this piece that length. So it's kind of fun. Of course, it's at an angle, so it's kind of deceiving. It's not anyway, the angles all come together. Anyway, this came out really nice. These were at $3.99. This was $15 a board. These were $7 a piece. The filters were 2 for $4, so about $1. So yeah, you look at the whole scheme of it, I have about maybe $110 invested in it overall, and that's with just using some paint that I had around the house. Acrylic latex is all you need. If you don't coat it with acrylic latex, when they take a cheap can of spray paint and you just spray the side and it's not protected, it will drill a hole through the foam. And got videos of that from 7, 8 years ago, where the boys started. I come in there, I just made it brand new like this, and I come in there and they're over there with the spray. Watch this. Did you know this did this? And they're just taking a can of spray and spraying on that before I had any paint on it. And I thought, wow. And then I found out that the modelers use just acrylic latex to keep that from going on, because I knew that they were using foam, and how did they keep that from going? So that made a good deal. So anyway, makes for a nice thing. The fan is just big enough to where it pulls the vapors out, and it's not loud, but yet it's not so powerful that it pulls all your heat out of a room either. And this is a tried and tested setup, and it works really well for $110, $120. Got it loaded up, ready for Rangers tonight, and we're going to head in to get it all set up and get those boys to painting. Thanks for watching.